so cute. Why did they break up? Get back together immediately. Transit love, also known as exchange, also known as 환승연애, is back for season 4, and let's talk about it. I'm sure everyone has already heard of Singles Inferno before, but there's actually a lot of other Korean dating shows, and this channel is going to be reviewing all of those shows, so subscribe and follow to get all the drama. So this show starts off with a bunch of people coming into the house, and there's a little sundial where they can choose how much they want to get back together with their ex. So if they spin it all the way back to 12 o'clock, then that means that they want to find a new person and they don't want to get back together. Versus if that little yellow part is still shown, that means that's how much they want to get back with their ex. This show does such a good job of not revealing who are the real exes. They're so sneaky in that there's like a little intro part, and when they're chatting, they keep like re-editing it to a new person so you don't know who they're actually talking to. Gets me every time. Episode 1 starts with all the contestants arriving at the house, and there's just something about Korean dating shows that are just so awkward. I'm sure if you've seen Singles Inferno, you know what I'm talking about. When it's the intro and they're arriving one by one and they just don't say anything and they're just sitting in complete silence. I don't know if it's edited like that or if that's like what it really feels like, if they're really just sitting there awkwardly, because it's so uncomfortable to watch. When Mingyung arrives, she does this little double take when she sees Baekhyun, and I don't know about you, but I feel like maybe they're exes. Maybe that's a clue, because he acted really awkward afterwards and I feel like he became really shy. What do you guys think? The last contestant arrives, Yushik, and the camera cuts to Mingyung looking at him, like smiling, but then her face suddenly drops. What does that mean? That must mean something, right? Maybe he's her ex. And when Yushik arrives, all the men are intimidated by him because they think he would be all of their ex's types. Once everybody has settled in, they find an envelope on the table which states the house rules, basically saying that they can't tell anyone any information about themselves, including who their ex was, including their jobs, ages. They cannot search each other up on social media, nothing. Once everyone has found their rooms and settled in, they start making dinner, and Baekhyun keeps circling around Mingyung, and that's weird. That's weird. By Korean standards, like even looking in the same direction, even breathing the same air is like considered flirting. So the fact that he's standing so close to her, that's a sign. It could be that maybe he's interested in her, or maybe she's his ex and he didn't want Mingyung to be so close to the other guy. And she's making this green onion side dish and he feeds her. He puts it in her mouth. She doesn't give it to her by hand. She puts it and bird feeds her into her mouth. What does that mean? He's definitely flirting. Everyone starts eating dinner and Mingyung wants beer, so Baekhyun offers to get it for her. And then it cuts to Yushik and Won-gyu just staring at them and glaring. At the dinner table, Jihyun asks what everyone's ideal type is, and Yoonyoung says that she likes a fox face and also someone who wears denim. And Yushik says that his type is someone who doesn't wear fancy clothes because he likes a more natural type. And in response, Jihyun asks him why he doesn't like girls with fancy clothes because she only packed fancy clothes. And Baekhyun corrected himself and said that he liked someone who stayed within their own style, or like someone who knew what looks good on them, whatever that means, I don't know. And in response to that, Jihyun said that she's the opposite. She likes someone with a bad style, so then she can fix him. Yoonyoung then said that even if he had bad style, she would become interested in him if he looked good in denim, which is crazy, girl. Going for a guy only because of denim? I've never heard of that before. The doorbell then rings and they get an envelope that says, please take turns and read your introduction. This is the introduction written by their ex. Mingyung reads her letter first, and the letter is written from the ex's perspective, and he says, even on the days I felt like I couldn't breathe, she made me feel like I was resting when we were together, which is so cute. Why did they break up? Get back together immediately. While she's reading the letter, they show the reactions of all the other contestants, and I thought it was interesting because, what's his name? Yushik was nodding his head, which I feel like you only nod your head when you agree with something, you understand something, or she's your ex. Next was Jiyeon's introduction, and her ex basically said that I hope she meets someone in this show and I hope it will be a kind person. And I think it just kind of shows that there's no real lingering feelings there, especially not from the ex's side. While Yushik is reading his ex introduction, it pans over to Yoonyoung looking like she's crying. So I feel like that's a pretty good sign. Why is she so attached to his letter? Is she the one who wrote it? Everyone has cried so far at this point reading their letter, but then when it reaches to Won-gyu, his letter begins with pale skin and indifferent expression.
하얀 피부에 무심한 표정.
It's just so random. Like, it just sounds like a poem and not like a letter. And while Won-gyu is reading his letter, it shows Jiyeon, like, just, I don't know, her eyes. Doesn't it look like she's in love? Or like a past love? I feel like those eyes are sparkling a little bit too much, that it has some sort of meaning. I would be looking out for her. Maybe she is his ex. Everyone finishes reading their letter and everyone cries except Baekhyun. Baekhyun said in his interview that when he was dating his ex, he thought a lot about marriage and how he would be happy with a family, but that now after they broke up, he's different. He couldn't date for a long time, let alone think about marriage. And he also doubts if he can protect the next person he dates. After dinner, the girls head back to their room and they talk about whether they still have feelings for their exes. And Jiyeon says absolutely not. And Yoonyoung says less than 0 before she came here until she read the letter, and now she's confused. And also, side note, do you guys know what products they're using? Because their makeup looks so good. All I can make out is this gypsy water perfume that Yoonyoung has on her desk here. Let me know if you know what they're using. Afterwards, the girls head back downstairs where the guys are cleaning, and Mingyung tries to stop Woojin from cleaning, telling him to unpack his suitcase and that she can do it, but then like she tugs on his shirt. That's a huge thing. Like, you guys don't touch each other in Korean culture, you know? Maybe he's her ex. Then Won-gyu and Jiyeon start doing the dishes together, and then Woo-sik is like walking around. He's not really sure what to do, and he asks Jiyeon if they want to switch places because she's not wearing kitchen gloves to wash dishes. She's like, no, it's okay. But then he barges in between them, which is very strange. So maybe Yushik is her ex, and then maybe he didn't like that she was washing dishes with someone else. I don't know, but she starts using the informal language, the 반말, which is not using the polite verb endings, to Yushik, which might be an indication that they're quite comfortable with each other and they can joke around and she can drop the honorifics. Later in the night, the doorbell rings again and they receive an envelope asking the girls to find a guy and ask them out on a date without being noticed by anyone else based on their first impressions and who they want to get to know more of. All the guys predict that their ex-girlfriends will pick Baekhyun, and all the girls predict that their ex-boyfriends will want to go out with Mingyung. Mingyung is the first to ask someone out on a date, and she has to search through the house to find the person that she wants to ask. She accidentally goes to another area of the house thinking it was the person that she wanted, but it wasn't, so she had to close the door, and he could hear that he basically just got rejected. So that was a little bit hard to watch, but she ends up finding Baekhyun and she directly asks him,
저랑 데이트 하실래요?
would you like to go on a date with me? And he accepts. And that is the end of episode 1 of Transit Love season 4. If you want to see more episodes and get caught up with everything that's going to happen and find out who are the ex couples, then subscribe and I'll try to post very, very soon.
큰일 났다.